This is Augie Macro with Cryptid Creatures. Today, rather than talking about a particular cryptid or paranormal phenomenon, we will be discussing a specific paranormal location, that being the Historic Loveland Castle Museum in Loveland, Ohio. During the production of Season 2, Episode 7, Invasion of the Lizard People, we visited the small town of Loveland, Ohio, in order to investigate their local legend, the Loveland Frogman. While there, we attended the 2024 Frogman Festival, and became aware of another intriguing and paranormal location, the Loveland Castle. Earlier this year, while attending the 2025 Frogman Festival, Cryptid Creatures cameras had the opportunity to investigate the castle further. Here we are at the Historic Loveland Castle and Museum in the town of Loveland, Ohio, on the banks of the Little Miami River, where we have come to investigate the history and the mystery of this fascinating location. The Loveland Castle, officially known as Chateau La Roche, was built by a man named Harry Andrews, who was born in 1890 and had always had an affinity with all things medieval. When World War I broke out, he joined the effort as a medic, and for most of the war was stationed at a castle-turned-military hospital known as Chateau de la Roche in southern France. When the war ended and he returned to America, he began plans to build a castle of his very own. It was then that he moved and settled here in Loveland and began a Boy Scout-style troop known as the Knights of the Golden Trail. In June of 1929, he began to build the castle and continued to work on it for the rest of his life until his death in 1981. The castle was then willed to the Knights of the Golden Trail, and they maintain it as a museum to this day. However, those who work here and visit here claim that Andrews never left, and that he still resides here at Chateau La Roche. There have been countless reports of objects being moved about the castle inexplicably or disappearing altogether, disembodied voices being heard in the corridors, and even the form of Andrews himself being seen about the property. Is it true that Harry Andrews, his ghost, still resides here at his beloved Loveland Castle? We may never know.
We are a Norman-style castle that's 10th century before gunpowder. So everything with this castle has to do with archery, all the way from those windows and the stairs and everything, right? And there's just so many things, like that clock. Anybody notice anything about that clock? So Harry, you like to think when you come in that door, you're taken back in time. Pretty cool, huh? All these photos that you see behind me on the mantle and the wall are all pictures of that one man who built the castle, Sir Harry D. Andrews. He started building the castle in 1929. But before he started building this place, I'll tell you a little bit about him before. So he's originally from upstate New York. This is his photo when he attended Colgate University, where he got a few of his architecture degrees, right? From there, he got drafted to go to World War I. While in the war, he got spinal meningitis and They pronounced him dead. They actually thought he had died. It wasn't until the autopsy, they scraped the roof of his mouth and his mouth started bleeding. They realized, oh my goodness, this man is still alive. So they gave him a shot of adrenaline, and then Harry was quarantined for 3 months, donating his blood because his blood had a natural antibody in it. Harry, at 91, he was out front and he had a burn. His pant legs caught on fire and they burned him really bad. So the men rushed him to the hospital, and unfortunately they said that he needed to get his legs amputated from his knees down. And Harry, the godly man he was, he just said, no, I'm not doing it. So unfortunately he did die from gangrene 10 days after he had got burned. And Harry was working on this castle 10 days prior to him passing away at the age of 91. He spent 51 and a half years building this castle, and me personally, I'm like, that's a long project. My personal opinion, I feel like Harry dedicated his life to his family down here and that's building this place. And he did put 27, I think it was, of his nights through college and or vocational school. Yeah, so, I mean, they had to work for it, you know, like labor. But I think an old man would definitely need help getting some rocks. But he did. He carried rocks all the way up until he was 91 years old. Me personally, I got 2 buckets and filled them up, and I ended up dumping them out and had 2 half buckets and 2 trips. So I was just like, how did he do that? That is crazy. Harry believed that there was activity. As a matter of fact, he did have someone come down and cleanse the inside of the castle. I heard that it was 2 little kids that they drowned in the river. And that was before he even started building onto the castle. And then a few of our investigators, or paranormal investigation, our ghost hunters, they come down, and there's a few of them that said that most of the activity that they find is out back in our gardens, not inside the castle. However, there were things in the north wing apparently that some of our knights have witnessed. Me, myself, no. Probably because I knew I wouldn't be back.
If you enjoyed this episode and would like to learn more about another intriguing location, watch Season 2, Episode 6, The Haunted Temple of Johnstown, where we investigate the Johnstown Masonic Temple in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And if you'd like to learn more about Loveland's other paranormal sides, watch Season 2, Episode 7, Invasion of the Lizard People, where we talk all about the Loveland Frogman. Thanks for watching, and to watch our previous and future episodes, visit the Cryptid Creatures YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Cryptid Creatures is brought to you by the Kitty Petters Union, Cobble Sound Recording Company, and my dad's show, Meet the Pressers. This is Cryptid Creatures with Augie Macro, signing off.